Before we get started, the topic of this video is marijuana. Hi, I'm Erin Zettle. I'm a Family Literacy Center board member and a licensed attorney in the state of Michigan. I practice criminal law. We're creating these informational videos to help inform our students about certain legal issues. This legal advice is general advice. It isn't addressing any specific legal problem. It's also valid as of December of 2023. Laws change all the time. So marijuana, it's legal. It is not legal if you are under a certain age. Those ages may or may not be changing. It's also not legal if it is in your system when you are operating a motor vehicle. It doesn't matter if you have a valid medical marijuana card or not. So people say to me all the time, but like, Erin, pot stays in your system for 30 days, so like I can smoke pot and then not drive for a month. And that's where we have to talk about a little bit of chemistry here. There's two things in marijuana. One, there's active THC, that's the stuff that makes you high. And then there's THCOOH, that's the metabolite, that's what's left over in your body after the THC goes away. The metabolite is what stays in your body for up to 30 days. The active THC can stay in your body for, we don't actually know. Because it depends on your body, it depends on how much food you ate, it depends on how stressed you are, it depends on what strain. Did you smoke it? Did you eat an edible? Did you drink it? How much was it? Was it really good? Was it really bad? Did you do it over a period of time? That's the problem that we're having with all of these driving under the influence cases with marijuana in your system, is we don't know how long. To be safe, to be really, really safe and to avoid an operating under the influence of a controlled substance, I recommend 6 to 8 hours after ingestion because that's a pretty good time frame. Now, I recommend that, but that's not foolproof either. So you can't you can't smoke a joint and then wait 6 hours and then be like, but my lawyer said, because one, I'm not your lawyer, and two, that's generalized advice. 6 to 8 hours might be enough. But like I just said, there's 20 factors that go into it. It might not be enough. 4 hours might be enough. 10 hours might be needed. That's the biggest problem, honestly, with marijuana and driving, is that it's all a gamble. There is no test. There's no PBT for marijuana at home that you can use. There's no way to know if it's still active THC in your system or not. Several states have a cutoff of 5 nanograms per milliliter of THC in your blood. They figure anything below that, you're probably not high anymore. But Michigan's a zero tolerance state. So if you smoke a joint and get in the car an hour later, guaranteed there's active THC in your system. How do they know that? How the cop's gonna find out? They're gonna pull you over. They're gonna smell pot, see a marijuana vape pen, see a bag from House of Dank or something like that. And they're going to decide to put you through some sobriety tests. Sobriety tests are not terribly scientific, so they will find evidence that you may or may not be impaired by the use of marijuana, and then they will send you for a blood test. There's another video on sobriety tests, you should watch that one too. They'll send you for a blood test. If that blood test comes back and there is any active THC in your system at all, not the COOH, not the metabolite, we don't care about that, active THC, you will be charged with operating under the influence of a controlled substance. If you are charged with that and you are convicted of that, you face up to 93 days in jail, hefty fines, the potential of having your license suspended for a period of time and revoked for even longer. The potential suspension is up to 45 days, which means you don't drive anywhere at all, not even for an emergency. And then a potential revocation for up to 320 days, which means you drive to school and work and to court stuff, and that's all. Not to the speedy queue, not to the grocery store, school, work, medical appointments, and court stuff. The costs alone, your insurance will skyrocket. You'll have the court costs and fines, you'll be on probation, and there could be potential jail time. But here's the real thing. If you get a second one, if you get a second DUI, whether it be drugs or alcohol, within 5 years, your license is revoked. Not suspended, not restricted, revoked, taken away for a long time, sometimes until you go through an appeals process in Lansing. No license, no driving at all, period, full stop. So the moral of the story is, how long does THC stay in your system? We don't actually know. To be safe, maybe 6 hours, maybe 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. I don't know. I don't know, and no lawyer or scientist can really tell you with any certainty. So the moral of the story, the message of this video is be very, very careful. What we know for a fact is don't smoke a joint and get behind the wheel of a car, because then you know you're violating the law. Also, if you're under the age of 21, don't use marijuana. Medical marijuana cards, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you have a medical card, you still can't have active THC in your system when you're driving. Wrapping up, here's another standard lawyer disclaimer. This isn't specific legal advice. If you have a legal problem, please consult an attorney. A lot of lawyers have free consultations.